Floyd Mayweather wins a unanimous 12-round decision over Manny Pacquiao. The judges had Floyd winning by wide scores. I thought they were fair scores. Mayweather fought the strategic fight, which I outlined in my pre-fight video. I said distance was important. He couldn't allow Manny Pacquiao to get into Pacquiao's optimum punching range, because in mid-range, Pacquiao's a lot faster with combinations than any fighter Floyd has fought previously. So he couldn't allow him to do that. And the way that he nullified Pacquiao was actually to hold him, particularly in the early rounds, because people were saying, well, how is he going to deal with the southpaw style? That left hand will be able to get through that shoulder roll defense. Well, the way he got past it, as I say, is he was doing a lot of holding in the early rounds. Whenever Pacquiao would get close and Mayweather was on the ropes, Mayweather would lean forward and just grab him anytime Pacquiao started to unload. And some people are going to find it excessive when he was doing that. Some people are going to feel like the referee, Kenny Bayless, was too lenient on Mayweather. Me personally, I think maybe in the early rounds is a little excessive, but as the fight wore on, I think Kenny Bayless did give Mayweather a couple warnings. Kenny Bayless is a good referee, people. You know, I was never really that worried about Kenny Bayless, and I didn't see this fight really being that much of a physical fight anyway. There were a few little indiscretions here and there from Mayweather, pulling Manny Pacquiao's head down and doing this, that, and the other. But it was nothing too bad, and even though those little things can make differences in fights, I always felt that right from the beginning, Floyd was the one in charge. Pacquiao had his moments of success. There was a couple times where he seemed to maybe stun Floyd a little bit and had him up against the ropes and had an opportunity to let his hands go. And Floyd, instead of doing a shoulder roll, he just went into his little peekaboo defense instead, because he didn't want to let that left hand get through. Again, Pacquiao did land the odd shot here and there, but he was thinking too much in the ring. And that's the trap that a lot of fighters fall into when they fight Floyd Mayweather, is they get into a chess match with him. You don't want to get into a chess match. You have to be decisive when you fight Floyd. You can't be second guessing yourself. You have to go in there with a single-minded game plan and stick to it no matter what. If you're going to box him, stay on the back foot. Don't care about the crowd booing you. Don't care about Floyd gesturing you to come forward. Don't care about none of that. If you're going to box a back foot game, stick to the back foot and don't do nothing else. Don't matter how negative it looks. Okay? And if you're going to come forward, commit 100% to coming forward. Yes, you're going to take counters, just the way Marcus Maidana showed in both fights against Floyd. Commit to coming forward. You can't be second guessing yourself, because that's Floyd's universe right there. The thinking universe in the boxing ring. That's him all day long. And Pacquiao fell into that trap like so many other fighters did. And in the end, it turned out to be what I expected, which was a pretty lackluster, disappointing fight. This is the fight I expected. A lot of people pre-fight were kind of critical of me and questioning me when I said that I wasn't excited for this matchup. And I wasn't excited for a number of different reasons leading up to this fight. But one of the reasons I wasn't excited is because I expected this kind of fight. I expected an antiseptic, unexciting fight. I knew it wouldn't live up to the hype. It was very unlikely anyway that it was going to live up to the hype. So this is why I wasn't excited. There are far more compelling matchups on paper. If you want to know what kind of matchups I'm talking about, go just click a few videos back from this video, right? And you'll see a video which I did called 10 fights which I like more than Mayweather Pacquiao. It was something like that. And those are fights which have got the ingredients to produce fireworks. This was a fight between two guys in their late 30s who are cagey veterans, who've been around a long time. Neither one of them's in their prime. And Pacquiao particularly, because he's an aggressive fighter, those kind of fighters tend to burn out a bit earlier in their careers, as with Mike Tyson, Joe Frazier, etc., etc. So this fight was always going to be between two cagey vets, guys who weren't in their primes. And, you know, it just didn't have and guys also who haven't scored a knockout between them in a very long time. So the likelihood of this being Thriller Manila or Hagler Hearns or anything dramatic was unlikely. The likelihood of a knockout wasn't very likely either. So this is why I wasn't excited. And you guys who were extremely pumped up for this fight, that's what I want to, this is the question I want to pose to you. Why were you excited for this fight? You were caught up in the hype. What were you excited for? Yes, we know Pacquiao and Mayweather are big names, but as I said before the fight, this was more of a fanboy war. It's more about being a fan of this fighter or a fan of that fighter, and that's what made you excited, because you're a fan of a certain guy and because the stakes were high. That's why you got into it, because you're so heavily invested in one fighter or the other. But a guy like me who's neutral, didn't really have a horse in the race, to me, I'm looking at it as, is this fight actually going to be an entertaining piece of, sport to watch? And I didn't expect it to be, and it turned out exactly as I expected. Nothing very entertaining. And in terms of the significance of this win, it's a nice name on Floyd Mayweather's resume now to have Manny Pacquiao, who is a future Hall of Famer. Neither one of them in their primes at the time. It's kind of like, it's similar to Lewis Tyson, okay, although Pacquiao's definitely more relevant than Tyson was when he fought Lewis, but it's a similar type of situation, so it's a nice name to have on his resume. But I've always felt this is nothing new, not just because he's beaten Pacquiao, because I picked him to beat Pacquiao. What I'm going to say, I've been saying for a long time. There are other fighters out there right now at 147 and 154 who have got a better chance, in my opinion, of beating Floyd Mayweather. And people can say what they want because these guys are not big names. Oh, you're talking rubbish, man, and blah, blah, blah. If Pacquiao can't do it, these guys can't do it. Again, you're buying into hype, you're buying into names, in my opinion. What I'm telling you right now is Erislandy Lara has got a better chance. Erislandy Lara would be much more competitive against Mayweather than Pacquiao. I've always felt that. I've never deviated from that. I've been saying it for a long, long time in my videos. Lara's more dangerous fight for Mayweather than Pacquiao. Even Demetrius Andrade is more dangerous. Okay, these are guys who are taller, much taller than Pacquiao, longer arms, faster, younger, much more difficult, much slicker. And also at 147, I think that Keith Thurman would give Mayweather a better fight than Manny Pacquiao did. Okay, not quite. He doesn't have the slickness and what have you that the other fighters I mentioned have, but he does have youth. He's got power. He's got athleticism. And I think he's just a lot fresher than Manny Pacquiao is currently. So there are fighters out there who I think have got a much better chance against Floyd Mayweather than Pacquiao. I've always felt, I've been feeling that for a long time and saying it in my videos. It's nothing new. So yeah, nice win for Floyd Mayweather. And we'll see who his last fight is against. And I'm just glad, I'm happy that we had a conclusive winner in this fight. There are going to be some Pacquiao fans that are unhappy with some of the tactics and whatnot, but I don't think there was anything too bad from Floyd that you could really complain that much about. Yes, it was negative, but Floyd fights are always negative. That's why I've never really been a big fan of him as a fighter, because he's not a compelling guy to watch. Yes, he's skilled and all that kind of business, but as a sporting spectacle, it's nothing compelling to watch. It's not like watching a prime Tommy Hearns. It's not like even watching a prime Marvin Hagler. It's not like watching a prime Tyson, or, the list goes on. Mayweather is a defensive guy. That's what he does. So it was negative, but most of Mayweather's fights are the same. So we'll see who he fights next. Let me know who you would like Floyd Mayweather to fight next. Let me know what you thought of the fight, and where do you see both fighters going from here. It's your boy Pacman. I'm out.